Welcome back. And today, we've got to do things a little differently. But first, meet PC Joseph Wilby. What came out in his hearing sounds like it's straight out of your favorite soap. The plot? A police officer, a vulnerable victim will call Miss A, and a whole lot of lines crossed. It started with domestic abuse, not by him, but one he was supposed to investigate. Then suddenly, this officer's sending late-night texts, flirtation, and mechex at the end of messages.
So, this Wilby got a DV case, took a shine to the victim, and what? Started texting and showing up in person when there was no reason to be there. We've seen this before from other officers, and I'll repeat what I said then. This isn't policing. It's predatory.
And before anyone says, maybe they were just friends, or he was just going the extra mile, let's be clear, he was 30. She was 22. She was a domestic abuse complainant. And he was a serving officer using his badge and access to contact her off duty for months. He even rang her while off shift. And the messages? They weren't professional. They were flirty, inappropriate, and completely out of line.
Yep, there's an imbalance of power when a cop forms a personal connection with someone they're meant to protect. It's not mutual. It's manipulative. If you think about it, dating a copper means you're never really on equal ground. They've got the badge, the access, the authority. And unfortunately, in this case, it looks like he used all three.
Well, speaking of access, Wilby wasn't just texting, he was checking confidential police databases. Systems meant to protect people. He logged into Connect and SmartStorm, looking up the woman's info and the person accused of assaulting her. The panel said not only did he have no reason to access that info, they believed he shared it with Miss A.
Okay, well, that's got to be more than just unprofessional. He was leaking privileged info from inside the system. Just to be clear, police can access everything. Names, addresses, even place warning markers on people or vehicles. We're talking about stuff that could seriously put people at risk. And for what? To impress her. That's dangerous. This guy was playing with people's lives.
Well, if we fast forward a few months, he's off duty, on the phone to her, and logs into the police system again. In the middle of the call, the panel said there was no police purpose for him to be in the system. But hey, at least he admitted to sharing info during the call, so I think he knew he was done for.
So, dismissal then.
Oh, that's not all. Remember I said this sounded like a soap opera? Well, what's a soap without a twist? No. If all that wasn't enough, buckle up. Because there's another woman, Miss B, a totally separate person. And when their relationship ended, what does Wilby do? He calls the police himself, makes up a story, and gets officers sent to her house to check on her welfare. Except he didn't stick around to help, because he wasn't worried. He was spiteful. The panel even noted that he concocted a story, lied to dispatch, and used the system for personal revenge. Let that sink in. He used the trust behind 999 calls to mess with an ex. The abuse of power is just dripping off this guy. And as you'd expect with all the evidence against him, he never showed up to the hearing, didn't send a medical note, didn't make a statement, just resigned the day before it started.
So let's tally it up. Pursued a DV victim he met on the job. Shared confidential info, made a bogus call and lied to emergency operators, misused the system, created a fake welfare check to punish someone. Please tell me they kicked his ass out.
Oh, he's off the force and barred for life.
Good. He abused his position, lied to the public, and crossed every line I can think of. No right-minded person could argue this was a lapse in judgment. This was systemic misconduct.
So, that's the case of former PC Joseph Wilby. A warning that the uniform doesn't automatically make the person wearing it trustworthy. But before we go, we've got to clear something up.
Yeah. While investigating this case, we found it covered by some local news outlets. And some, well, they did a piss-poor job. Reporting that the officer was given a warning and not let go. And while I don't always agree with the panels, facts are facts. And misreporting them for clicks or views is just as repugnant as what some of these officers are being reported for. So just to be clear, while we do try and jazz up the facts with a little banter, we're adamant that what we bring you is accurate, which is why we don't show officers' faces. It's too easy to get the wrong social media and post the wrong person. Unless we're 100% sure, we just can't justify it. But anyway, like the lady was saying,
That's the case of former PC Joseph Wilby. Let us know what you think. Should resignation the day before a hearing be allowed? Or should officers be required to resign within a set number of days after being informed of a hearing, and if they don't, lose the option to quit until after it's over? Because, as it stands, people like Wilby walk away with a clean CV. The panel can only issue warnings or dismissals, and if someone resigns first, it's like nothing happened. On paper, Wilby just decided to move on. Sorry for the rant. But it irritates me that he's out there now without a blemish. As always, thanks for joining us today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.
totally get it. And I'd go one step further. Any officer with a pending hearing should be placed on administrative leave without pay. If they're found innocent, they're reinstated and back paid. If not, sucks to have been an idiot. And to those who say that's not fair, good. Because we're not talking about flipping burgers. We need people who won't abuse their power. And this seems like a good way of weeding them out. But hey, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Until next time, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more updates. Stay informed, stay aware, stay safe, and remember, accountability matters.